everybody, what's up? It's Michael Termini from the Game House, and today I'm joined by new Team Liquid head coach Guilhoto. So last time we talked, you were just fresh off of the Immortals loss in the playoffs of the summer, right? So I kind of want to know, how did your offseason go, and what led you to being the team coach of the head coach of Team Liquid?
It was actually a very weird offseason for me, because initially I thought that I would stay with Immortal. A lot of things happened. Obviously, some of the stuff I can't really talk in public. But once an opportunity like Team Liquid appears, it's obviously very, very attractive and was a challenge that I was looking for after having this year with IMT. So it just felt natural to me to just go to what I think is the best org in North America, possibly in the West. So it just made sense.
Well, speaking of challenges, this team, I guess, is kind of full of them. So one of the biggest thing is it's a super team, right? And everyone will always bring up the logistics of that, dealing with all these players with different play styles, possibly egos, stuff like that, clash on these teams of, all superstars. So how has that experience been for you so far? And has there been like any, big issues?
Not big issues yet. I think that those issues usually don't come at the start. And I think that everyone on this team is very aware that at some point issues will come, and I feel like we are working very hard on getting ready to solve them. Obviously, the hardest thing on this team will always be to get everyone on the same page, because everyone had really big success on their previous teams with a different way of playing. But we are working on it. I think that today we showed some good League of Legends from the start. Obviously, we expect soon to have our full roster, and when that happens, things should also be a bit more smooth. But I do think that Jan and Ayla both performed really well, and they are part of the things that we are working on. But I haven't felt that there is a big like superstar feeling from anyone on the team, like I am above X or Y. I think that everyone is working really hard, and everyone is aware that, just like we are seeing with Vitality starting 0-2, that team, that names don't win championships. They never did. But what I think makes this team a super team is just everyone willing to put a lot of work, and everyone's willing to compromise to reach to a decision where we just do the same thing and be on the same page. That's what we are working on right now, and I think that in a couple of weeks we should have that ready.
Well, you briefly touched on it in that explanation there, the import and I guess role issues that you guys been having, do the swapping between Elia Yan and Core JJ and Hansama. So through your perspective, logistically, how has that been? Have you had to do, people swapping in and out of scrims, stuff like that? Has that been an issue?
I mean, it's obviously always an issue, right? But at the same time, I'm very confident on both the bot laners that we have from our academy team, Ella and Jan. I think that they are better than a lot of the AD carries and supports that are currently playing in the LCS. So obviously it comes with issues. Everyone would like us to be playing with Hans and Core. We would also like to play that. But at the same time, it's issues that are out of our control, and our goal as an organization and as a team is still to win. And that doesn't change if we are playing with Hans and Ayla, Hans Core, or Jan and Core. About scrims, we have been swapping. We did practice with both bot lanes. I wanted to use this first day to understand on a competitive game scenario instead of scrims how it actually looks like, also in terms of communication, how that affects the team. And now that idea is in, it's just going to be listening to the comms, because I wasn't allowed to listen to the comms while the game was playing due to being online, of course. And now it's just whatever we feel like it's the best to win the next game, then we will play whatever we feel like it's best next game. Also, don't necessarily exclude the possibility that Hans and Core have a game together in this tournament.
Oh, that's some hopeful words.
I mean,
right there.
It's very unlikely, but like you never know. Obviously, like every option is always open. So
Fair enough. All right. Well, that's exciting. Let's talk about Bjergsen, right? So obviously he took a split off the coach last year on TSM. So he's coming back in. He did his boot camp in Korea. But how has it been, I guess, kind of coaching him back up to that LCS form? And has that been a lot of stuff on you, or has he kind of been taking that on himself?
I think he takes it a lot on himself to get back to his level. I think that obviously taking 1 year off, you need to work very hard to go back on form, but that was always one of the main strengths of Soren, that he's incredibly hardworking and very self-critical. So I think that his form right now, it's also already at 1 year break or not, it's already at the top of the LCS as a mid laner. So I think he's very critical of himself, very critical of the team. Obviously, with his experience as a coach, it is required that we just work much more together into what direction we or in this case, I need to convince him more on the direction that I want to take the team. But I think that every feedback that he gives to me, to his teammates, to himself is always very, very good. And to be honest, I couldn't see a mid laner that would fit better on this team, or honestly, a better mid laner to be coaching right now.
Fair enough. That's some high words right there. Let's talk about that EG loss, right? So obviously it was a really close game, back and forth. That point seemed like anyone could take it, but EG came out on top. So what do you think it was, that game, that kind of, I guess, was the nail in the coffin per se?
I think that with how the bot matchup should go, I think we should have get leads through first Drake and also use bot push to be able to reach first to Herald. Even if they have package, we can compensate that with man advantage. I think that once we fail to do that, the game is on a tough spot. We still managed to come back. I think that they threw they just threw the lead, or they just threw the fact that they had a lead through us not having a lead, and they threw that and gave us a lead at some point in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But once that happens, obviously, when we are going to contest a third Drake, Feelers doesn't have a second item, and Jinx has. The gold is not necessarily where it was supposed to be through the advantages on early game. So we are kind of forced out of our win condition of getting Soul in this game. And once that happens and we lose also third Drake and Soul due to some misplay in a fight here and there, then obviously the game becomes much harder. I still think that due to the fact that we do have more practice with Hans, Ayla than Yon Core, I still think that everyone on the team did really well. Some mistakes here and there. But I don't think that we lost because of a specific situation. It was just the game, the way that it was supposed to play it out. We lost on our timings, and once that happens, then obviously we will get punished by that.
Fair enough. So Evil Geniuses is probably, would you say that they're like the best team in the tournament, maybe besides Team Liquid or possibly 100 Thieves? Or what are your thoughts on them overall, like strength-wise?
It's hard to say. It was only one game. Fair. Where also they had more information on us than we did on them, because we played before, and this was his first game. I don't think any team, including us, EG, 100 Thieves, are playing particularly at a very high level. So to be fair, like 1 week so early in the year can change literally everything. So today EG beat us, they were better than us. Yesterday 100 Thieves and Cloud9 were both undefeated, so they are on the top of their group as well. But obviously I feel like us, 100 Thieves, and EG are probably the better teams in this tournament, also mainly because of the amount of academy players that are that are playing in the tournament, right? So it's not really an LCS tournament. We have subs, a bunch of teams in Group A, especially playing with academy, C9 as well, fielding 3 of their academy players. So it's very hard to say.
Fair enough. I can't blame you. It's definitely an interesting tournament, to say the least. Well, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for coming on. Do you have anything to say to Team Liquid fans before you go?
Just hope you enjoyed the two games. Obviously, we didn't get the 2-0 that we wanted, but I think that we showed some good things in both games, and we have really clear what we want to work on. And just stay excited for not only the rest of the tournament, but for spring and summer and possibly Worlds.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Check out thegamehouse.com for more LCS interviews.